best friends.
Welcome to another episode of the Bestie Advice, where we discuss all things relationships.
Hey, besties. Welcome to another edition of the Bestie Advice. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, bestie.
So excited. We are just knee deep in our series about all things relationship, really covenant partnerships, relationships. And today's show is going to be just so amazing because we heard you. To our single women, we heard you. And we have an amazing woman of God that is going to be joining us. And she's going to be talking to Kiran and I about being single and satisfied. So we're just so glad that Takisha Jones decided to join us today. Hey, Keisha girl.
Hey, Keisha.
She's going to really provide some sound wisdom, advice, tips, and things that she employs as a single woman that's satisfied, but yet desires to be married. So for all of our single ladies that are desiring to be married, even if you are married, just lean into this conversation because we know that something is going to be said that is going to encourage you.
Yes.
I'm just so happy to be hosting this podcast with my bestie, Kiran. Girl, what's going on?
Hey, besties out there. Hey, my double F. That's my favorite friend, you all. If you all wanted to know what double F means, that's my favorite friend. We just again want to just welcome you all for joining us for this conversation, and we are excited to jump right on in with our Miss Takisha Jones. Yeah, that's it right there. That's it right there. I'm speaking it. I'm decreeing it. I'm declaring it. It's coming. But what I actually did want to get into, Keisha, is one, if you can just tell us just a little bit more about your singlehood. I know, you haven't been single all your life. You have dated prior to deciding like, okay, I'm single. I have accepted being single, and I am content waiting on God. But I know you had to actually get there. I'm sure that did not happen overnight, where you just woke up at the day after you broke up with your boyfriend, like, that's it. I'm single. I'm satisfied. And I can do this. Yeah. So if you could just speak just a little bit more as far as about your story. Like, when did you actually say, okay, I'm here. I'm content. And God, I'm just going to wait on you.
Yeah, just to piggyback on what you were saying as far as the journey to get there.
Yes.
It is a journey and it does not happen overnight.
Yes.
Growing up, my mother was really strict on me. Like I couldn't wear like polish and stuff like that. So I always not to say I didn't think I was pretty or anything, like I didn't have those issues, but it was just certain things about me that I just felt, alienated from everything. I was always shy, an introvert, or whatever. So when it came to my, as it relates to my singleness, I've dated, I've been in a long time relationship, and growing up in church, you always was told like, not to do this, not to do that, but never told like how to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. How to do it.
Yes.
And so I made like a lot of mistakes getting to where I am now.
Yes.
Not that I was like out there or anything.
Yeah.
It's just, the journey, it was a little challenging.
Yeah.
And what I do want to touch on is that I started my personal journey as far as being single at a very young age.
Okay.
So that's where I kind of like was up and down. on this journey.
Yeah.
It was in my early 20s when I learned about what it means to date, how to date, what you're supposed to do on a date, what you're not supposed to do, the environment you're supposed to be in. All of that matters. Not that my mom didn't teach me those things, but when older people, back in the day, their parents didn't talk to them. So sometimes your parents, take on that. So me and my mom had conversations, but I would just always be scared to talk to my mother, about those things. But she was open about a lot of things. But again, I made a lot of mistakes down the road.
Yeah.
So as time went on, I've born and raised at church, and been at New Mount Vernon all my life. So the journey started when New Mount Vernon when they first implemented a women's retreat.
Okay.
So at the women's retreat, it was a singles class.
Okay.
And in the singles class, that's where it all began. And again, I was in probably my late 20s, middle 20ish, when I start learning about the journey, about singleness, yourself, how to do it, what to do. So it started very young. And because I started so young, as I was going through the process, there was a lot of rejection, because just because you're in church doesn't mean everybody is on the same page.
Yeah.
And so,
gotcha. Yep. Yeah.
So you expect, a little more from those that are in church, but it's not always that, the case.
Yes.
And so with my journey, going to church, I knew of God, but I didn't know God, specifically for myself.
Yeah.
And so as, we went on a retreat, I learned so much, and I was excited about starting this new journey of abstinence, being saved and single.
Yeah.
And I found that being in a community really helped.
Yes.
Because after you come off of those type of highs, you have to be able to go somewhere else to be able to maintain that.
That is good. That's good. That's good.
Because it's easy to be away with, 100, 200 plus women, and then come back. Now
it's you and God.
Me and God trying to do this thing. So as the journey went on, I began my journey as learning, growing in God, knowing who I am, my worth, knowing my worth, and, just, working on myself. That was in my 20s. So I started young.
Yeah.
And so with dating, it was a little challenging, because at the time, because I'm 51 years old now.
I can't tell. Can't tell at all. Can't tell.
Right. So much. And so at that age, that was not popular.
Yeah.
Keeping yourself was not popular.
That's not popular at this age.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not popular. It's it's really hard out there.
Yep.
And so I had went through a journey with a lot of rejection. I was dating, but because we, couldn't do certain things, eventually they left.
Yeah.
And so I found myself kind of compromising as I was going along. I didn't know how to deal with that rejection.
Yeah.
What the rejection was.
Right.
It was my protection. I didn't know at that time.
Right.
So moving along with, in my, late 20s, I'm in my 30s now. And now I'm serious. I know God, I'm learning about him. I'm excited. I want to keep myself. I never heard the term dating to be married. So I was going to, me and some of my single friends, sisters were going to different singles groups. And that helped me a lot as well. That's why I was saying that community of women and being accountable. A couple, of course, coupled with prayer. And it also takes a mindset. You have to have the mindset. You have to have the desire to want to be kept. And it's not always about sex, but it's just about your mindset. You know, accepting who you are. Can you handle the rejection? You know, it could be challenging because you desire, you know, the desire. And what I learned along the journey is that I couldn't allow the desire to overtake me. You know, because you see everybody else dating and out and stuff like that. And we're human. We were made to, you know, want to be touched and, you know, all those things and going out to the movies and stuff like that. But then on this journey, I was taught that you can't be, you know, going over to his house. You can't be alone. You can't do this. You can't do that. So
unless both of you all have some type of self, y'all really got to be here.
You do.
Y'all got to be here and here.
You do. And so that was a challenge in itself too. So I don't know if you want me to keep going or if you want to like
no, I do want to. It's I'm sorry, Irene. I just want, because she said this a couple of times as far as just with talking. I like how you said that it's important to have community. Women of like minds that's around you. Yes, your girlfriends can be dating, some of your girlfriends can be married, but actually having a specific group of women who are single and who are on that same journey, I believe is very, very, very important. Because women out there, single women out there, when you get tempted, just because you have made that commitment, I still believe you're gonna get tempted. The enemy is sneaky. He is really, really sneaky. He can't get you this way. I mean, that way, whatever way he can try to get in. So I believe that it is very, very, very important that you all have that community of women that's around, or for men, community of men around you of like minds. But I kind of want to just kind of shift things a little bit, even with that. What are some of the things that you all do, or if you can share some of like the activities that you do, you know, some of the things that you all do together to kind of take your mind off of it, like, hey, I'm focusing on me, we focusing on us. What are some of the things that you and your girlfriends do?
Going to the movies, going to plays. My therapy is, of course, working out, and going to different plays and different concerts and stuff. Like shopping, of course. Self-care, you know, massages and things like that. And the conversation is not so much as like keeping your mind. And I think everybody, this misconception of just keeping your mind or you keeping busy so you won't think about it, it's not even like that for most women. You know, I speak for myself. It wasn't like, you know, with me and my girlfriends, we sit up talking about like, oh, I just want to be married, or I'm just trying to keep myself focused. It's really not like that. Again, it just has, it has a lot to do with your mindset. You know, you know, and when you said something that community, the community is not going to always be a single woman that's maintaining, or a single woman that's probably, you know, going down the right path or whatever. I still have those women that that was not on the same page, but that didn't deter me from what I wanted to do, because I was on that path. So good. Again, it has a lot to do, you know, with your mindset. So, you know, just going to different classes, learning about, you know, being debt free is just a thing, you know, debt, working on your emotional piece, you know, your sound mind, your spirit, your body, how to take care of yourself, you know. So it's so many things that, you know, that we do.
Yeah,
That's
that's what
good.
I was gonna say. The
That's
same
good.
thing with
Mm-hmm.
around the community, but I was kind of answer my question because like our podcast is really about relationships, particularly friendships, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so really just thinking like, a community is really, a group of women, a family or men, but
Mm-hmm.
people, a tribe. And so, you have your tribe of women, but everybody is different. And like you said, everybody is not in the same place. So I was going to ask you, but you kind of answered this. So your tribe is mixed up of a lot of different people. And I'm very happy to hear you say you have your own mind because everybody does not have your best interest at heart. And they can be in your tribe and they could be tipping, and dipping and still in the church. I mean, I'm just saying, and be trying to say, girl, it's okay. God knows. But I'm encouraged that you're saying, no, I'm going to do what I want to do, even though my tribe, this is my community. So that community is very important. Now, when you say community, were any married women in this community, or just everybody was just single?
Absolutely. That's a good question. So yes, I have an array of friends, saved friends, unsaved friends, married friends, because that also taught me like, what do you all do? How do I prepare for marriage?
Yeah.
How do you, what do you do?
Yes.
How does that look? So being able to have that mixture, it just brings like a balance.
Right.
Bring a balance. So that's very important. I have a lot of sisters that's married.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't get in the way of our friendship or anything. But yeah, so it's definitely a mixed community. And I like that because it also encourages other women that watch me. And a lot of women come up to me and say they watch me. And I know people watch you, but I just be amazed at like how they're actually watching and say, well, what is it that you're doing? I always wanted to be like you, like your poise, your this, your that. But, and I never knew that. And it was just that authentic side that, hey, let me tell you, this is my journey. And I was just always authentic with it. I wasn't trying to act like I was like this super saved single person that like didn't fall or had challenges along the way. So a lot of my friends that even that's not saved or even saved and, may be challenged, we talk about those things and encourage each other and, go through with each other, with prayer, reading scripture, and again, it just all has to do with the mindset and the desire to want it.
Yes.
know.
Yes, that's good. So, I do want to ask you, so what are some of the perks of being single? We over on the married side, we say, well, one of the biggest things people always say, well, you can have sex, you got legs next to you, you got that's this much.
Right.
That's that much. But yes, you do have someone that you can confide in. Hopefully you can confide in them, y'all. Y'all need to be able to confide in your husbands, y'all. But someone you can confide in, that better friend. Yeah, we have our best friends and our good girlfriends, but having that better friend, that one is gonna give you like that raw advice, that raw wisdom that ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing.
Yeah.
We have that, someone that you can grow old with. That's some of the perks that we have. But then with being single, I believe that it's perks with being single as well. And some people are in a rush, like, no, I want to get married. But look at all this goodness that you actually have over here. So what do you actually believe are some of the perks of being single? Some of the things that you should actually be embracing, like, girl, you single. Do you realize you could be doing this, and this?
Join us next time for part 2.
Thanks for joining us today. See you next time.